Once again, Rebecca and Sharon here talking about items that we like at the Petty Museum that you need to come see. Nobody really had merchandise to sell. Like, you didn't see people walking. They might have Ford, Pontiac, or Chevrolet something on, but they didn't really have like driver merchandise. And my mother wanted to start an antique business. She did. Comes to find out, she was her best customer, so It didn't last very long. Best thing about this was we had a van that looked like this.
We did.
We actually drove around as a family in a van that looked like this. So that was part. Once again, Rebecca and Sharon here talking about items that we like at the Petty Museum that you need to come see. So today, I have a t-shirt that was probably actually mine back in the day. And so why I wanted to show this was nobody really had like merchandise to sell. Like, you didn't see people walking. They might have Ford or a Pontiac or Chevrolet something on, but they didn't really have like driver merchandise.
And this is early 70s.
So my grandfather owned just a concrete square building about a mile and a half down the road. It was a warehouse, a banana barn is what we called it. And my mother wanted to start an antique business. She did. Comes to find out, she was her best customer, so It didn't last very long. Sure. But on one side of it, we started printing T-shirts. So my family started printing T-shirts, and then Daddy bought a trailer and hired a person, and they would haul that trailer all over to every racetrack and sell merchandise, and it was called the Racing Connection.
Yep.
And we were the first people to. Nobody did it, so we did it. So needless to say,
a nice little vintage
this was
shirt.
Almost our everyday attire because it was free. But this is also one of my favorite T-shirts because that's one of my favorite cars.
Yeah. And then and actually on the red floor, what we call the red floor in the museum, we have a lot of vintage hats and T-shirts and jackets over there from the past that most of them have come from us. Like
it's like our personal stuff, cleaning out a drawer.
Yeah. But it's really neat to look back and see how far merchandise has come. You know, what people...
Well, and the fact that now you can just outsource it. Like, we literally printed, counted, sorted, all that ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was from the 70s, so I'm going to show you my next item.
It's another vintage oldie goldie.
It's a toy. So we weren't making toys, but Daddy got up with a company named Erdl, and it was fun.
Yes.
Like, they took us to Disney World.
Yep.
Like, we did all kinds of fun stuff. But this was one of the first things they had. Now, I myself was a Barbie girl, but for some reason, this fit right in with my Barbie collection. But the best thing about this was we had a van that looked like this.
We did.
We actually drove around as a family in a van that looked like this. So that was part of it. But it come with a real sliding door, like we had on ours. And hold on, we've had a little bit of injury because this is.
You have to remember
this is kind of old.
This is
and it came with an actual little Richard Petty.
I mean, what kid doesn't want their
and
daddy
the
to be a
little
dog?
Richard Petty had a cowboy hat, but I think that Sharon might have got this out of my daddy's basement, so it's probably actually mine.
We actually have a couple of figurines like this over in our toy section, our vintage toy section, and they had the cowboy hat with them. So we do have that one.
But yeah, this was really cool to me as a kid because number one, this was the vehicle that I drove around in every day of my life at that time, shrunk into a toy that I could play with, with an actual real little figure.
And they sold a lot of these. And it's metal. It's not even plastic. It's metal. But it was a toy, and they sold a lot of them. Erdl did. But I will tell you that the year in 1992, Mom and Dad went and bought these huge containers, and everything that was made that year. Every T-shirt, every sticker, every die cast, every statue, whatever.
We all got one of each.
They sorted them. They would get enough, and they would sort them in the Rubbermaid containers. And at the end of the year, they gave Kyle, me, Lisa, and Rebecca all Rubbermaid containers full of everything. So we did get one of everything that year.
And then I feel like I've told y'all the story before about if it was something that was like they made so many.
Yeah, if they made 50.
If they made so many, then I was assigned a number. Sharon was assigned a number. So she was 5.
Yeah, that's 5.